Does this ever sound like you? This is Jackie. She's in her 20s, she just graduated out of college and she has been working for a while now. She hates her job and she spent 4 years to get that college degree, but she can't leave her job because she's locked in a golden handcuff. This is Adam. He just skipped college altogether and started his own business. Life is pretty stressful regardless of the multitude of customer queries and never-ending workday. To top it all off, his relationship with his family is kind of bad. He rarely talks to them, he's stuck in friend with benefit situationships, and he doesn't know if we could get better romantic relationships in life than this. Both of them feels like they are lost. And if this sounds like you, please keep watching. Hi guys, my name is Pitch. I made this video today as a guide from someone who just navigated out of her confusing early 20s and now just turned 25, and I hope that this guide could be something to help you conquer your 20s. Life in your 20s is pretty complicated. You're neither an adult or you're neither a child. This means that you have to take care of your own life, your finances, your relationships, your work, your career. You're no longer the innocent one or the innocent student back in college, or if you skipped college altogether, you have to start taking responsibility. Today, I truly want to share with you how I navigated myself out of this maze. I have absolutely nothing to tell you, just except for the fact that you would like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who knows that might be suffering in the same situation. I also have a specially made custom Notion template for you that I actually use in my daily life. I started using this in July 2023, so it's been already tested since July, August, September, and it's been tested for 2 full months, and I feel that ever since I've started using this Notion template that I created myself, everything has been much more consolidated. So if you're excited to see how it is, please continue watching. So first part, why listen to me? As I turned 25 this year, I definitely feel that I've matured in terms of my mindset, my way of thinking, and also my relationships. Here's my timeline from 20 to 25 in the past 5 years. First, when I turned 20 in 2018. I moved to Hong Kong from Thailand by transferring uni credits. And in 21, I did my exchange at Wharton UPenn. At 22 in 2020, that was when COVID hit, and I did my last round of university online in COVID. In 2021, I started my first job in management consulting, and in 2022, I came back to help my parents start a company in late 2021, and throughout the whole of 2022, so many things happened to my family business. In 2023, which is this year, I finally turned 25. I regained my composure and currently doing a product owner, product management role in one of Thailand's leading bank. So as you can see here, my journey has been a pretty turbulent road. I've only started doing product management, or actually know about this job, when I was in 2019, so when I was 21. And now after 4 long years, I finally landed myself a job where I truly enjoy what I'm doing, not just chasing the glory or the money. How I consolidated of my life has been pretty interesting. As Florence Scovel Shinn, an American author for The Game of Life and How to Play It, states, the perfect plan includes health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. This is the square of life, which brings perfect happiness. I want to highlight 3 key words from a quote: health, wealth, love, or you can call it relationships. I want you to picture this as your life pyramid. Your most bottom tier, your top foundation, is your health. Your second layer is your wealth, and the third is your relationships. A lot of people might switch around between wealth and health. Some people definitely treat wealth as their most fundamental tier that they have to secure, and I totally agree with that as well. So take it as you go, what's your level of priorities. But for mine and for a lot of people that I know, it's health and wealth followed by relationships. If you can get these 3 aspects together, your life is gonna go much smoother. As a bonus, I'm sharing with you my exact Notion template that I use to organize my health, wealth, and relationship. So let's go. The first part is health. And health by far is the core foundation to getting right in figuring out your life. According to the Oxford Dictionary, health is a person's mental or physical condition. It states that the state of being free from illness or injury which also can refer to a person's mental or physical condition. Why do I say this? My biggest mistake in my early 20s was not taking care of my health, particularly my mental health. First, there was my alcoholic phase right out of college. This was such a, I would say, adolescent phase where I had a really bad relationship with myself. When I was working in my first job, I definitely felt inadequate compared to a lot of my peers in consulting. Even though I was the most junior person in the team and understandably would have less experience than others and therefore might not perform as well as others, I felt so bad that I was not performing as well as others. The crazy thing about this is that it's a natural thing. I just joined the firm, I don't have experience, therefore I might not be performing as well. However, since university or since college or since when I was little, I always put the pressure on myself to be the best performer in every single thing I do, whether that would be sports, extracurricular activities, or academics, right? And so therefore, even though I love the people in my office, in my team, there were so many instances where I felt inadequate, and therefore I mostly spent my Friday and Saturday drinking away the stress. And I repeat, when I mean drinking away the stress, I literally mean getting very passed out until the late hours of 5 to 6 a.m. And at that stage where I was in my early 20s, I think my body can definitely take a lot of that poisonous liquid inside. However, now that I'm already in my mid-20s, I don't believe that I can do any more of those hardcore partying as much as I used to. But more importantly, how I also want to share about my early part of my 20s was that because I put so much pressure on myself, I often have a lot of mental breakdowns. So this could be in the form of perhaps crying or having severe migraines. And I cry pretty often when I got negative feedback or feel that I wasn't doing what I like. And even though a lot of my consultant friends, mentors, and amazing seniors, they've gave me a lot of great advice, I just didn't feel like I was where I was supposed to be. So then therefore came into my physical health, because I couldn't mentally be enjoying myself. My physical health also took a huge beating when I was in COVID in 2020. I lost so much weight from a intense workout, intense dieting, that I lost 9 kilos in 4 months. However, when I started my job, I regained a lot of the weight back because I didn't take care of my health. I barely went to the gym and I didn't even make time, maybe rarely, to go to do some boxing or Muay Thai, but I mainly just spent the time just watching movies and being in my bed because I was already so exhausted from working. So therefore, I want to share with you how I recovered them back. The first part is that I skipped the gym and used the new technique using sports. Honestly, I never enjoyed the gym. I find it hard to stick to a regular schedule because this is kind of boring. I love the cardio part and lifting weights, sculpting my body, but after a while it kind of got boring and I skipped it altogether. This year, in 2023, I've actually started golfing and playing tennis. This for me is so much more fun than the gym because it's actually a social sport. You get to meet new people and I actually got to make new friends playing tennis. And there's also a lot more benefits, like you have an actual goal that you're trying to reach, such as you're going to go for amateur tournaments, meet new people, and measure your progress beyond just your weight or body measurements. Now you can measure it by your skills, techniques, how well you can rally the ball. So those kind of things is just making me so much more motivated. And I actually saw results in terms of my weight loss, where I actually lost, in just 2 sessions of tennis, half a kilo. It's like 0.5 kilograms. So that was amazingly fast. And the second part of how I recovered back my health was that I returned home to my parents and did a total reset. This part was that in this year, I had the incredible luxury to travel to Bali and Taiwan, and it was so amazing that my best friend was able to help me sponsor a lot of the cost. However, I felt that a lot of things were so chaotic And even living alone in my own luxury condominium in Bangkok, I had the luxury of ordering Grab, takeaways every meal, and 7-Eleven means that I don't even have to leave my condo to get 3 full meals, like proper food in Thailand, in Bangkok. However, I felt it was still so chaotic because I was always alone in my thoughts. Nothing was like productive. That's why I turned to a video from Imran Gatsi talking about monk mode. So then I made the decision to go back to my parents' house in southern Thailand in Hat Yai, where I felt that this could be a great detox for me, away from the junk food, away from the alcohol, away from the Bangkok partying. And I've also made sure that this decision has made me realize that I actually miss my family a lot. And I've also missed the peace that even though you might not be staying in a capital city, in the big cities like Hong Kong and Singapore where I used to grow up, having just being with myself is so therapeutic that I highly recommend this to a lot of you guys. And don't feel the pressure, guys. Like if you're in your early 20s, you're preparing to graduate, or you've already just graduated, don't feel the pressure that you must get your own place, you must rent out a nice fancy studio. Because the thing is that if you can save cost, if you're renting, you're essentially just burning money and not building an asset. So why burn your money when you could be living with your parents if your work permits it, instead of trying to show off that you can support yourself now? What is better is building wealth rather than building a fake facade to show to your friends on social media. The second part is, so just to recap, the first part, skipping the gym, trying out new sports, and second, doing a total detox, mental and physical. The second part of this video is talking about wealth, organizing and conquering your wealth. Now, wealth, according to the Oxford Dictionary, refers to an abundance of valuable possessions or money. It is a state of being rich or gaining material prosperity. Now, before you talk about getting more money or how do I get $100,000 in 1 month type of clickbaity YouTube videos, you need to first fix your relationship with wealth. What do I mean by this? In my case, I previously viewed wealth as a measuring stick of success, influencing my mindset that whoever had the most money, they were the most successful. And growing up, I used external measurements like grades, school, reputation, and now salary to measure my success in life. It definitely is shallow, and I do have to recognize that this is such a shallow mindset, that if I earn the most in my cohort, in my university, like in my peer group, I would be the most successful. But little did I know that it was probably because deep down, I felt that as the middle child, I was neither the oldest or the youngest in the family. I was never given the attention, and I always have to feel like I have to earn the attention. This month, I had a heart talk with my dad, and I asked him that I was stuck in my career. I didn't know what I should do. I was not making as much money as my first job in Hong Kong, and nowhere as close to my banking peers. My dad said, put progress over possessions. You'll get rewarded more. I asked him, but don't you want to be proud of me by me making the most in the family? He said, it was never my intention for you to make a lot of money. But if you can make the most impacts, the most goodness, not greatness, but goodness, then I'll be really proud of that. That's when I realized I based my entire identity on being the best. It got so tiring, however. When I got the best grades in secondary 1 when I was, I think, 12, I was so happy for one whole day. I was so proud of myself. But then for the rest of the 90 to 120 days until the next semester rolls in, I spent my days being so stressed, regaining or keeping that title. When I got a high-paying job in Hong Kong, I was so happy during paycheck day. But I was pretty miserable for the rest of the 29 days in the month. My younger sister, who's Mulan, comforted me during this past 2-3 weeks. She always inspired me so much with her bubbly personality and the IDGAF type of personality. And she's like a breath of freshness always, where even sometimes I try to put her down by saying like, are you worried about money? Like, aren't you worried that you're not gonna be like helping with the family? She always comforted me and said that we do our best and that's enough. After talking to my dad that month, generating wealth became fun for me. I always envy people who enjoy their work and are really good at it. Taylor Swift and Blackpink Lisa, for example, are some of my idols who genuinely love their craft and are genuinely amazing at that. So this time, I'm starting a job in product management in Thailand's leading bank. And finally, because I've been so intrigued in this role for the past 4 years, and even though I don't earn as much as in Hong Kong, I am mentally and physically healthier. It is not about how much you earn, it's about how much you save and invest and use that wealth to give yourself happiness. And I now enjoy spending money on things like sports rather than spending on crazy partying or weekend booze. The second part of wealth is to increase your personal finance knowledge, especially in budgeting. In 2022, I blew my savings in a 1.5 month luxury Europe trip, and that was not really the best financial decision. I know that could be perhaps a phase, like I just had to get the party out of my system, but at the end of the day, I had to suffer the consequences. So after a huge reset that I did this year, I made it a point to sort out my financials every single month. And if you've ever been in a situation like me, you will understand that financial discipline is so important. Or if you've never been in a situation like me where you're, just blew off your savings, then you would be a good start to start planning now. Instead of waiting for the rainy days to arrive, you have no umbrella. Start preparing for it now. So I want to share with you a Google Sheets template that I made for myself, and it was to make sure that the aim of this Google Sheet is to track my progress for every month. This Google Sheet is designed to help me manage my cash flow, whether that's coming in or coming out, and not just trying to maximize it. And I could also see that from this Google Sheets, I could track everything by downloading my banking applications PDF or monthly report summary and tracking each item line by line. I know this sounds like a lot of work, but it actually just takes 3 hours in a month for every month. So it's maybe just the cost of watching one movie once a month, and you get your financials right. You start to plan, you can budget things, and it's gonna put you at such a better position years down the road. To recap on wealth, I would suggest you to first fix a relationship with wealth, and second, increase your wealth knowledge and start implementing financial discipline. The third part of figuring out or conquering your life is relationships. To be clear, I highly recommend you to figure out your health and your wealth first, because those are the critical foundations. If you're single, that's great because there's no distractions or opposite gender to just, get you distracted. Or if you're in a committed relationship, that's great as well. And I highly recommend you to watch this video together with your significant other to sort out about their health and their wealth. And once you can, really settle these two foundations together, it's time for you to get back into the dating jungle or whatever it is called now. And I want to share with you a few lessons that I had from this dating jungle that I've had navigated for the past 35 years. But actually, I really started dating in 2018, so 7 years. The past 7 years. Here are my 4 key takeaways when it comes to relationships. First, don't be in a situationship. You deserve better. Sister, you deserve better. Bro, you deserve better. I want you to treat yourself like a king or queen, and that will mean that you can get someone who will do the same. Story time. I spent 1 year in a situationship back in 2020 to 2021. Right when I had my most glamorous glow up state, I came back to Hong Kong and I met a guy who I really vibe well with. But the sad thing was that he was not gonna be in Hong Kong much further because he had to pursue his MBA. And knowingly, I went into this situationship even though I know that at the end of the day, we won't be doing long distance and we are not going to go into a serious committed relationship to each other. While we were still in a situationship, everything felt like we were in a relationship. We held hands, we did all the couple stuff, we celebrated birthdays, and everything was fun and stuff. Yet I know that there was a destination or a deadline to this. And when that deadline came, I was like, all right, I saw this coming 1 year ago, so I was like, okay, fine. But I spent the next year sort of waiting for him mentally, even though he didn't ask me to do it. But I felt that I just wanted to see him again. And so when I did see him 1 year afterwards in 2022, guess what? He was already talking to someone else. And I only found that out when I went to Europe. So the moral of the story here is, don't be in a situationship, you deserve better than that. That sounds like a very, duh. It is so much harder when you're already in yourself in that situation. And now that I look back at it, I understand why. Why did I do that? I did that because I didn't know what I am worth. I didn't know that I could be someone who's amazing, who's awesome, who's really just, a joy to be with. But I felt that that was the best I could get. I felt that after having a breakup with my ex-boyfriend 7 months ago before meeting this guy, I felt that I wasn't capable of getting great relationships, so I settled for that. And then more importantly, I also was living in Hong Kong, and it's such a place where everything is so small. You just want someone to share space with, or at least don't be your own tiny apartment all the time. So I was like, okay, might as well, have someone to spend time with constantly. And while I had friends and colleagues and peers to spend time with, having a constant someone without putting in any effort was just so much more reassuring. But looking back at it, I definitely thought that could have been better time spent on meeting new people or being in new relationships. So all in all, don't be in a situationship. The second takeaway that I want to share with you about relationships, at least as your big sis, is that don't be emotional. This comes at a time where everything on social media, everyone is using dating apps and stuff. And I had this story where I want you to don't attach. I want to share this main lesson with you. Don't attach yourself to the relationship. What I mean by this is that you need to keep your identity, and when you're looking for a partner, look for one you can build a person to build a life with. Find a person to build a life with. A person who complements you, not completes you. So think of it as yourself as a jigsaw puzzle. Everyone you meet in your life are pieces to complete it, but you have your own singular piece. When you're in a relationship, it is very easy to make yourself revolve your life around that person. I fell into this trap in my second relationship when 90% of my free time was to spend time with him. And when therefore he didn't text me back or he didn't spend time with me, I fell into a very bad mental state. So looking back at it, this year as well, I almost got into a relationship, but because me being emotional or me being too too many things I was handling, I was taking out my emotional frustrations on him, it didn't last. So I want to share with you this lesson where don't be emotional, don't be too attachy, just enjoy. A relationship is fun. It's fun if you think of it as a fun thing rather than oh, I need to control this person or I need to pressure this person or whatever. The third takeaway is don't do one night stands. I never had a one night stand but basically don't do it. And don't equate how hot the guys are that you can get to sleep with to equate that with how hot you are. Getting hot guys to sleep with you does not equate to how hot you are. Believe me, guys will sleep with anyone, anyone. Okay, this might sound very feminist, and if you're offended, I'm sorry, but from my experience and from the sample size that I've encountered, or from a lot of the stories that I've heard, many guys, or most guys, have things that they just want to do. So it doesn't matter if you can get a very attractive guy to go home with you for that night or the first night that you guys met, because he's not gonna be there for the second night and the third night and the fourth night. So it doesn't mean that you're super hot if you can get all the hot guys to be with you for for several nights. Okay, it's about you and you as a person and knowing your worth, not stooping down to that level. The fourth takeaway is to identify red flags early in a toxic relationship. Red flags are things that when your body is naturally telling you this is wrong. For example, if he's ghosting you, if he's not texting you back, if he's telling you to say, oh sorry, something came up, or he doesn't even reply. Sister, trust your instincts and treat those as red flags. They are red flags. What this means is that you gotta like sound a signal, and if there's enough signals, jump ship, move on, go to the next ship, because that boat should sail for the right purpose, right? It's for your own good. So if you're trying to say that, oh, he's just being busy, or he's just like not being active right now, he's just too many things going on, or you know, opposite gender, same situation, realize that maybe they're trying to send you a signal. And I know the point is not to overrate it, but don't commit to it as well if he's doing that. So just take what you see as potential red flags, and if you collected enough of them, jump ship and move on. Now that we've come to the end of the section of relationship, it's homework time, and we've gone through the core essentials of health, wealth, and relationships. Now I have a fun exercise for you. I want you to go into the description box and download my free Notion template. And of course, this video is not sponsored by Notion or anything, but as always, I love Notion. I think that their founders, I think Ethan Zhu has been such a huge contribution to this like productivity space, and especially because their product actually pivoted. Like, the story of Notion is so interesting, so if you guys want to check it out, read through that as well. That they pivoted from an initial stage where Notion was not supposed to be what it is for today, but they discovered that one of their product features, such as building blocks over each other, is such an incredible tool that is pivoted to what you see as Notion now. So coming back to this part, I want you to take this Notion template and see and navigate that. I will make an in-depth video coming up after this to show you exactly how to use the Notion template. So just play around with it first and see how much you can get through it. And as my first video, I'm wrapping it up by saying thank you so much for you guys who's helping me start this YouTube journey. And this time, it's actually I think my third attempt to starting YouTube. I did my first two, and for the past 2 times I never felt like I was taking it seriously. I always write out the script, like a full-length script, or do whatever, and just like film, quickly edit and quickly post, and like that's it. And when I did that for 3 times, I felt so burnt out. I wasn't proud of my work. But this time I want to take it slowly, like how I'm taking my life. I'm not pushing myself to be the best. I'm not trying to give myself huge amounts of pressure, but I'm doing it because I genuinely enjoy sharing, and hope that you would get to see the same value as the changes if you're in this stage right now. When I was in my early 20s, I often Google for YouTube videos like this, like how to figure out my 20s, how to, you know, make sure that my 20s are good and stuff. So I hope that this video could become a video that you guys are watching as well. So with that, I hope to leave you with a quote that says that don't rush if you want it to last. Don't rush if you want your health to last. Don't rush if you want your wealth to last. And don't rush if you want your relationships to last. With that, I genuinely hope, thank you so much, I genuinely hope that you are able to sort things out. And as always, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And it will really help in promoting this video to more people. Thank you.